And
Yes.
I asked before we came on whether you voted or you didn't vote. You said you voted.
Yes, I did. I voted, and it went very well
Okay.
at my area.
Okay.
But don't forget, there are over 9,000 PUs in Lagos. So
Mm,
that the fact that it went well in my area is not necessarily a testimony that I can extrapolate onto the entire Lagos environment. But it
right.
went very well. The card reader worked. In fact, the entire process of my voting
Right.
took probably less than a minute
Oh.
because immediately the card was put on the card reader, it brought up my name. I did the thumb accreditation. They put
Mm-hmm.
my thumb on it, and and then I have my papers. I thumb printed. I put it in the boxes,
Hmm.
and that was it. All within 1 minute, it was done.
Indeed.
That was my experience.
What was the turnout like?
On the turnout side of things, it was very poor.
Hmm.
I got there initially at about 9:30,
Okay.
and the officials were not even on ground. It was just
At
the
9:30.
yes, it was the policemen, and they had a tent and chairs and table there, but the Lasiak people were not there at that time, so I had to go back. That was when I joined your program,
Yeah.
and I had to tell when we went before 12 o'clock that look,
Right.
I need to go back there. I want to vote.
Hmm.
So I went back there. By that time, people were already there. They were voting. So I also voted.
Hmm. If you're listening right now, you're free to give us an assessment of what the election was like in your neighborhood on Saturday, because that's what we're doing, an assessment, a review of what happened on Saturday. You can join us live on Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3. We're also live on YouTube, Nigeria Info 99.3. This morning, talking about the LGLCDA elections on Saturday here in Lagos. Well, in even on that Saturday, there was a general complaint of voter apathy, and you just confirmed that now. What do you think was responsible for that?
A whole lot of issues. Number one is the fact that people are beginning to ask those fundamental questions. What exactly do these people do for me? So it goes back to the role of the local government. What do they do for me? So once people are beginning to ask those kind of questions and
Yeah.
they can't get reasonable answers to it, those are part of the thing that lead to serious apathy. I'm not going to go waste my time. I mean, this is the attitude of a whole lot of
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not going to go waste my time on people whose roles or how they impact my lives. I don't even know. Then for a lot of people, they've also not shown interest in the candidate. So
Yeah.
the issue is, who are the candidates I'm going to go vote for if I go there? I don't know them. They didn't come to my doorstep. There wasn't a robust campaign. I had no engagement or connection with them. So am I just going there to say I want to go and vote for a party, not for an individual? So that
Right.
one is another problem. The pre-election engagement between the voters and the people seeking elective offices
Yeah.
have not been robust.
It's
So don't
almost
know
like
them.
it's almost like growing up back then. Council elections were a big deal.
Correct.
You see them move around. You see them knock on your doors and try to convince you. You see them because you know them. You know that this is this guy. I know this guy, and I went to school with him together. Now you could
This is
you,
the guy. Usually
yeah,
the guy down the road.
it's usually
Yeah.
that guy. Right? But it was like people even when you were aware who these people were.
Yeah. A lot of things have changed. Some of the local governments then, one of the easiest way to identify a local government is as you walk past,
Yeah.
you will see these tractors that they used to bring out and do inner road fixing. But these days, they don't do anything. They literally don't do all those things any longer. It's the role has fizzled out. Even the little things like markets, like motor parks and all that stuff, are being hijacked by the state, who will do it and deduct the money from their subvention.
Yeah.
That's what we will see most of the time.
I want to talk to you about the role of LASIEC, the
Okay.
State Electoral Independent Electoral Commission, their own role leading up to the election. Do you think they did enough in terms of sensitizing people, in terms of educating electorate, in terms of creating the awareness around election, the last election?
I would think no. They didn't do enough. Of course, there were the last minute statement issued by the chairman, Justice Phillips.
Justice Phillips, yeah.
A few other things. But those were too close to the election, and that is not when the engagement happens. So people were already detached. They were disconnected from what the whole thing that was going on.
Right.
We need to begin to rebuild the energy at that level for people to want to even participate in the first instance. But because left to the politicians, they might actually love it that the people are not coming out. Oh, yes. Especially the ruling party in a particular state, under the circumstances that we are right now, in which the ruling parties simply take all the seats, apart from Kaduna State. It's something you must give to El Rufai or the electorate of Kaduna State. Yeah, so you have significant seats being taken by PDP in that state. Maybe 6 or some there about out of 23 or 6 or 7 were taken by PDP.
Yeah.
While you have APC taking the rest in an APC state. It was a slightly different thing in Kaduna, but not in all the other places.
So this could have been deliberate.
They're not creating the necessary level of awareness.
Yeah.
From the politician's angle, yes, it could be. If I know I'm the ruling party, and I can... because the more people get aware, the more they come out, the more the result could be influenced. When they come out and vote for your opposition or for a relatively unknown candidate, because Lagos State, to be honest, had a few candidates that had a good profile. And some of these good profile candidates were not even in the ruling parties. I'm not saying the ruling party did not have a good candidate. I'm just saying some of those guys who could give the ruling party a run for their money were in these little parties. So if people don't come out, then it works in the favor of the ruling party, because the ruling party will ensure that some of his own people that normally vote, they will go out. Some market women.
You mentioned something earlier that people didn't come up perhaps because they feel that nothing is going to change. Staying away, will it change anything?
No. You see, not participating in the process because I think, they already know the winners. Our votes will not count, is actually a message being sold to the voters by the politicians, because they don't even want you to show up in the first instance. So they reinforce that. You believe it, you sit at home, you don't participate, they achieve exactly what they want to achieve easily. When people come out en masse and they vote for those alternative candidates in situations where they believe that those alternative candidates are better, things will begin to change.
People still believe that things will not change even if they had come out to vote.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
I got a call at 7:30. A young man in Itire, Agege or something like that, who said that his party, the youth party, won a councillorship seat. And he was lamenting vigorously that they won because they came out to vote. They won because they got tired of complaining that things will not change. And they got that one slot and it's okay for them. That's a good start for them. And it was encouraging people to come out. Almost immediately after his call, another person called and said that, nothing will change. In Ojo Alaba, we did not vote because we know that nothing will change. Those are two contrasting views, almost at the same time.
Right.
How do we begin to have some social reengineering in terms of our approach, our outlook towards effecting a change?
Yes. The recognized and established way to change government in a democracy remains the voting process, the electoral process.
True that.
And it is important that Nigerians know that. You can do all sort of social media campaign and grandstanding, but there are no votes on social media as at today. You can even protest, protest has not been known to be the established way of delivering change of government
That's right.
in a democracy.
That's right.
If you take some elections, my favorite is the last American election. Americans, there were major protests. You remember the Black Lives Matter protests and a few other protests?
Oh,
Those were
yes.
huge
Yes.
protests. Apart from that, there were a whole lot of social media issues, banters here and there, campaigns here and there. But you know what makes a difference between an American society and a Nigerian society?
What's that?
On that election day or when the elections start, in the last election, Americans voted like they have never voted before.
That's
in
right.
the 240-something years of American democracy. That is what makes a difference. The same kind of habit that brought forward the first black president in America. A segment of the society called the millennials who have never shown interest in electoral process before showed interest. They came up and they delivered that presidency. So we need to begin to understand how democracy works, that the most important part is that electoral process, and we should be ready to participate in that electoral process. And don't allow politicians to sell us and continue to sell us the lemon that your vote will not count. So don't bother to show up.
Someone told me after the coverage on Saturday that, look, most people that call on the radio, most people that share their thoughts on the radio, most of them, he didn't say, no, it was a she. She didn't say that all of them. She said most of them could as well be moles, just to discourage people from going out by saying that our elections will not count. There is no, why would I go and waste
my time? Honestly, I believe him to a certain extent. You see, that message of our election does not count or will not count, it's not just being propagated by politicians via different ways. It's also they are using their cohorts and their established structures to disseminate that same information. So they go on social media and you see influencers who might go there and create an impression about how your vote will not count. You see that literally on all social media platforms. There are people whose agenda is to tell others that their vote will not count.
My word.
Yes. So some of the people calling in will be along the same line.
You know what? Let's take a few calls and listen whether people agree with us or disagree with us. 0700 993 993 993 and 01465 7190. That is for the ladies. We're doing a review of the last LGLCDA elections in Lagos here. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning. My name is Rafet. I'm calling from Yana Project.
Welcome.
I quite agree with everything you're discussing there. I was not aware that the election is going to come up on Saturday until I tuned into Nigerian Info. There was I didn't even get a wind of that until I saw there was no movement in my area. So I was wondering what happened. I think the level of awareness was very, very poor. And coupled with the fact that they knew quite all right that we have it in mind to come out en masse to vote against them. So in my words, I would say that the participation has been so low. I did not see the large number of people that I used to see in the few years that used to come out to come and cast their vote. So I think I quite agree with everything you're saying there.
Yeah.
Everything is being orchestrated in order to deter some of those that will come out against them. That's down it.
Thank you for sharing it. Appreciate it. Nigeria Info, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning to you.
Okay, just to contribute a bit to the election matter we're talking about this
Yes,
morning.
please go on.
I think that a lot of people are looking for alternatives. For instance, my husband and I on Saturday, we're just asking, whom do we vote for? I think those new parties should come out and let people know them. We were willing to vote, but our anger is we do not want to go and vote for the same old parties that have not been doing anything. So the new parties should make themselves known. Perhaps I think personally that that's one of the reasons we saw the low turnout, because I think that people are looking for alternatives that they do not even know about, they are not sure of. So they rather start at home. So the new parties should come out and let's know them. Let's know them. We are willing to vote, but for a change, for something new. That's my take this morning, Chairman.
Thank you for sharing it. Thank you so much for calling. Let's take one more before we put all the calls together and respond to them. Good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother. My
Yes.
name is Sabinus.
Welcome, Sabinus.
I'm calling from Osho, the local government area.
Good to have you.
Yeah, I live in Ogundele in Oshodi.
Okay.
What happened on Saturday is a terrible thing in my area.
Okay.
There is no police. There is no police in our area.
Okay.
In all the polling booths I went around, all of a sudden we saw some group of people who came and hijacked the boxes and went away, and they shot guns upstairs, you know. So people were like, "Oh, is it what we're experiencing this time around?" So that will make people. Anybody who told you that in that area, in Ogundele, in Atonda, in up till Ogunaike, anybody who told you that the voting took place is telling you a complete lie. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Sabinus, for this information. Very vital. Appreciate it. Gbolahan, let's start with the last caller. Ballot box snatching. One would have thought that with the new amendment of life in jail for snatchers of ballot boxes, one would have thought that would have been an end to that ugly scenario. But it still happened, according to the last caller, going by what he said.
Well, it's still a fresh law. It will be tested.
Yeah.
And it is how firm we are about implementing, enforcing it, that would determine whether people will respect it or not. So if there were incidences of electoral violences, were arrests made, will they be prosecuted and will appropriate sanction be applied to these people? If it happens, then people will respect that law. If it doesn't, it will be back as usual. The law in itself it's not enough to guarantee it, but the force that we put behind it to make sure it works.
Now, we're going to talk about the other caller, the second caller that talked about, which we mentioned while we started, about the awareness of the voters, especially knowing the candidates. You mentioned it that, I mean, people, we don't know these candidates anymore.
We don't know them. Who am I going to vote for? I was one of the few people who knew who I was going to vote for. I can say that because I spoke with a lot of people, and that complaint was one of the topmost complaints that people had. Who are these guys? I've never met them. I don't know what they represent. I don't know what they want to do. So the issue of the campaign, the pre-election engagement is extremely important. If there is a candidate, for example, who had gone who are taking areas, and move house to house, people will remember that face and that name.
Right.
And it will have been something that could ginger some people who did not vote to have gone to vote on Saturday.
But why do you think? Because we had some of the candidates on different shows here on Nigeria Info the build-up leading to the election. And some of the callers were of the opinion that they don't even, I mean, these candidates claim to be coming out in their area, but they're saying that they don't even know them, that they've not seen them before. And then another set of callers came out to say that, look, these candidates, we should understand that they too are exposed to some certain amount of risks. Because in those areas, there are risks attached to coming out to contest elections.
Well, I won't say there are no risks attached to it, but I also doubt the severity of those risks that we're talking about. They think that the opposition or a competitor will go to their house and murder them or something. We need to test the ground. And why I don't believe that factor is that even the top candidates of the two popular parties have not done the door-to-door thing.
Exactly. Let's go to break. Let's go to break. We'll be right back, Lagos. Stay with us.
This is an infomercial.
A multinational company in Lekki, Lagos is massively recruiting independent sales executives that own a car and a valid driver's license. Are you ready to work with the company with the most history worldwide? Are you ambitious, a smart worker? Do you have a great attitude? Ready to take your career to the next level? Here is an opportunity for you. Please call 0815 705 0505 or 0905 637 4258 to book for an interview.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
Apollo, my guy. How every now?
Benjo, what thing now? That is money you just call me.
See, 9 Mobile, they give me call bonus while I don't finish. Now all my guys go here.
If you never recharge your 9 Mobile line for 40 days or more, recharge 200 naira and above, and we go summer you 6 times your recharge and double data bonus.
Apollo, my guy.
Benjo, see, I go block you now. I go block you now. You go see him.
Terms and conditions day. 9 Mobile.
Did you know chronic stress from work or lifestyle habits may result in fatigue, headaches, and pains? Stress reduces the body's ability to fight diseases, leaving you vulnerable. Your day will be much better knowing you have the right immune support to help you combat symptoms of stress. Immune Active is a premium blend of high-strength vitamin C, zinc, and selenium that helps prevent recurring diseases, improves skin radiance, and boosts confidence. Activate your immune system today with Immune Active. Available at any leading pharmacy store near you and online at oaklifevitamins.com.
For loans and investments, call us on 0809-734-1810 or visit our website www.sycamore.ng now.
Home. There's something about it. From the feeling of peace and serenity.
Bros, why so deep? Home is anywhere the Airtel Home Broadband is. That's all.
Enjoy more data than before on Airtel Home Broadband. Get a router for 25,000 naira with up to 160 gigabyte and a MiFi for 12,000 naira with up to 55 gigabyte. Reliable home broadband by Airtel, the smartphone network.
Babe, that girl must be using something.
Hey, Berry, what kind of something?
You to see how she's always smiling, displaying her 32.
You're cuckoo right. I know her secrets. I know what she's using. She uses it twice a day.
Tell me her secrets.
I'll give you a hint. ABZ.
ABZ?
Yes, ABZ is the secret. Close-Up contains antibacterial zinc ABZ, which gives you 3 times more freshness and 3 times more protection. Better than your regular toothpaste. Now you know the ABZ secret.
The new Close-Up is her secret. Everybody must hear.
You can't keep a secret.
New Close-Up with antibacterial zinc. Triple the freshness, triple the protection.
In the information era, facts, events, and news are available at the click of a button. The information flow is enormous, which makes the financial markets unpredictable. As a trader, you need to have a strategy, and most importantly, you need a trustworthy partner that will simplify things for you. Hot Forex is serious about its responsibilities to you. With its origin dating back to 2010, we are a multi-regulated broker with over 2 million live accounts, wide global presence, more than 35 international awards, tight spreads, multiple assets, reliable fast execution, technological innovation, and multiple account types. The Hot Forex team is always ready to deliver trading services and free trading education that you can rely on every time. And this is not just a mission, it's a promise. Visit the Hot Forex Educational Centers at 3rd floor, Warala House, 90 Allen Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos, or call 0908-517-6394 or visit www.hotforex.com. Hot Forex, for traders that want more.
Mommy Shade, this child looks sickly. Try and take her to the hospital. I wish I could, but the expenses are too much. Don't tell me you have not heard about LSHS Ilera Eko. Ilera Eko? What is that?
Lagos Health is our wealth. Ilera Eko.
Oh yes,
Yes, Lagos State Health Management Agency, LASHMA, has designed an affordable and quality healthcare scheme for Lagos residents. In Lera Eco, at your convenience, you can have access to antenatal, delivery, immunization, management of hypertension, diabetes and other illnesses, family planning and basic emergencies. Register with Ilera Eco branded agents and at the nearest Ilera Eco branded outlets. Pay 40,000 naira annual subscription for a family package or 8,500 naira for an individual package and start to experience peace of mind. For more information, call 0700 Ilera Eco or 0800 Ask Lashma or visit www.lashma.com. Ilera Eco, affordable and quality healthcare for Lagos residents.
Power oil sachet, 70 naira, only 70 naira. I said power oil sachet now, 70 naira, only 70 naira. Ogbonge cooking oil now, 70 naira. For a healthy family, 70 naira. Ogbonge cooking oil now, 70 naira. Power oil sachet, 70 naira.
Power oil for a healthy family.
Sweetie, you look so worried.
Honey, I am so confused. Oga landlord has given us just 1 week to pay the rent we are owing or pack out, and I have no cash on me. I tried selling my car, but buyers are not just turning up.
What? Sell your car? Why don't you just get a quick loan from Cash Drive Instant Loans?
Cash Drive Instant Loans? Yes, Cash Drive offers instant loans for car owners. With Cash Drive Instant Loans, you can get up to 20 million naira in 24 hours without a guarantor, using just your car as your collateral, and you can still drive it. Apply now on www.cashdrive.co. For more information, call us on 0122999554 or WhatsApp on 0802-857-2566 or 0817-555-6789. Cash Drive Instant Loans. We are on your side.
When you come into the Glow Cafe, you're in for a world of treats. Not only can you monitor all your voice and data usage with ease, buy, share, borrow, and gift data and airtime in the smoothest ways, pay for any services of your choice using your airtime or your bank card, and manage or change your tariff plan to any plan you prefer seamlessly. You can also add friends, get sweet rewards, and so much more. Oh, and don't forget, if you ever need to recharge outside the Glow Cafe app, just dial *805# to purchase airtime or data through your bike. So, step into your Glow Cafe today.
Or download the Glow Cafe app today. Glow Cafe, where it all goes down.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3
Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Welcome back to the Morning Crossfire here on Nigeria Info 99.3. 8:33 is the time, and we're live on Facebook and we're also live on YouTube. Nigeria Info 99.3. I'm Sheriff Quadry. Olojede is here with me on the show. Gbolahan, thank you again for coming around.
The pleasure is mine.
We're gonna quickly. I want us to talk about the independence of State Independent Electoral Commission. Across the country, not just in Lagos, but across the country. Do you think they're truly independent?
It's a doubtful thing. You see, the state, the way they are structured, is such that it is possible for them to hijack all the powers that could have offered some checks and balances within the political system. You start with things like the state legislatures. Are the state lawmakers truly independent, or they have become an appendage of the state? For most of the state, if not all of the state, they are more or less like another ministry, very ineffectual at checkmating, or at least calling to accountability the executive. You see a similar thing even with the judiciary. because of the level of power that has been given to the governor. Oh, I will nominate this, I'm the one that will produce
Right,
this.
right.
You even see situations in which they refuse largely to give financial autonomy to the judiciary. After all, if I hold the wallet, I can determine a whole lot of things. I decide when you get your money and how you get it and what you get. And that is very sad. This was why Jusun had to go on strike for several weeks the last time. So by the time they control that, they now start seeing things like, oh, we gave you some cars, donating is all part of. And it is a similar thing that is being called over to the state so-called independent electoral commission.
That's right.
I think we need to begin to go beyond the name as far as these commissions are concerned, to see that independence in action. Truly. So like in the last election in Lagos State, for example, one would have expected a more robust citizens education on the part of LASIEC. I believe they hold this to the populace of Lagos to say, look, an election is coming, and you do this sensitization to encourage people to go out there and vote. Not the kind of a couple of days to election, you issue statement or you are that is not how it should work. And the Lagos State cannot say, oh, we are unable to fund that kind of a duty.
Most people weren't aware. I can tell you this authoritatively.
There was one of your callers this morning said he wasn't aware until the morning of the election that there was going to be an election. What kind of an election is that? So what level of performance? How do you want to grade that electoral commission?
How do you assess your performance?
If your voters are not aware, it shows the level of awareness that you were able to create about an election that was coming up.
So if anybody asks LASIEC now to come and do impact assessment, how should they rate themselves?
That's the question. We can do much better. I mean, this is an organization that is led by a revered former justice. It can do much better than it did.
I went to LASIEC's website and I've been looking to get results of the last elections on the website. There was nothing there.
You can imagine. It all starts from there. There is a website, though it goes beyond LASIEC. I've also visited some other websites. Will not mention names. That were literally empty of the kind of information that I thought were basic and should be on those websites.
Lagos.
Nobody updates a whole lot of those websites. They're not updated. You can't find unless there's something nice that they publish in the papers and they want to put it as part of the news. Otherwise, basic information that you'll have expected should be updated on most of those websites are not being updated. So they're just, we also have a website. That's the kind of mentality that you see out there.
It's sad. It's sad. We'll come to the candidates themselves. I mean, if LASIEC didn't do a good job in enlightening people on how to vote, I think the political parties are also major stakeholders in this, and they should do better than what they did in the last election.
The political parties owe a duty to have done much better than they did. The candidates themselves also owe that same duty. You addressed a very valid point about possible insecurity issues.
There
were instances in which some people will go and tear down all the posters of the opposition.
That's right.
Or some are even being threatened that, look, you want to contest, we'll beat you up or we do something. There were said to be incidences of that as well. But just like we said offline, look, the power, this is where the power of the social media comes in. I can present myself as a candidate. I can talk about my manifesto. I can do video. I can do audio. I can do just general visuals. And be able to reach a whole lot of people without even stepping out of my door.
Right.
So I never got a single social media campaign information about the candidates I voted for. They just happened to be people I knew in my area. You know, and I could vouch for them. That was why I voted for them. But in the real sense, there will be And don't forget, that was also an area I've lived for maybe some decades. So it's easier for me to know. What about new people who came there who don't know those gentlemen?
Don't know as much,
What did they do to make themselves known to these people who are supposed to vote for them? And that is the question. And the social media is actually not. You can do a whole lot without costing you an arm and a leg. But we're not seeing it. We're not saying it's not there.
Even the candidates and the parties, they're not getting innovative. They're not getting.
That's the way I say it. Even the so-called, say, a youth party, for example. I expected a youth party, the youth party candidate in my area, for example, to be able to reach me. They said them be youth now. They're supposed to feel use this social media thing better than the older folks. So how come I didn't get anything?
That's a very valid question, Very valid question. Let's take some more calls, Gbolahan. Let's take some more calls. 0700 993 993 993 and 01 465 7190 for the ladies. That's 01 465 7190 for the ladies. This one, when you're calling, please turn off your radio. We'd like to know exactly how the election panned out in your area. If you voted, we'd like to know. Please tell us exactly what happened. If you didn't, we'd like to know as well, and your reason for not voting. Nigeria Info, good morning to you.
Hello, sir. Good morning, Mr. Sheriff.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Charles.
Good morning.
Mr. Gbolahan.
Okay, Mr. Gbolahan. I used to listen to him in Classic FM.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Analysis, very good analysis. Thank you, sir. In fact, what you are discussing this morning, I was so interesting.
Right.
Because, you see, the last election, it was not an election. 3 days to election, we don't know candidates. I could remember I asked a politician in my street, sir, whom are we voting for? He said, vote for party. Because FBC knew that they are on ground in Lagos, they did nothing. Vote for party. We don't know candidate, we don't know their manifesto. And these are people that are closer to us. Somebody like me, I knew there was going to be an election because I listened to a program like this.
Okay.
That Saturday morning, my neighbor was asking me, which election? Madam, which election? Until we saw the boys playing ball, we knew that, some people knew that, there's going to be an election. It's very bad. Our politicians, they just decided to impoverish us by not giving us a good electoral system to vote. Somebody like me, I could have voted if there is electronic voting. But I will not go out for all these boys to just harass me for nothing. Thank you very much. I love your program.
Thank you too for calling. Appreciate it. Let's take one more. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Okay, my name is Adenike.
Welcome, Adenike.
Good morning, Sheriff, and good morning, GB Spoken Word.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, mine is a suggestion. I am aware that there was no awareness, and my suggestion is, can radio stations take it up as a CSR to work with these electorates to make people aware of who they are, what positions they are vying for.
Right.
Well, I've mentioned the fact that youth should make use of the social media. I think you can work with all the electorates or those people campaigning for votes to make use of the social media as well as radio stations to make people aware of the positions they are vying for, and then use the social media for their manifestos. It's a suggestion.
Right.
I believe if we do that, it will go a long way to create awareness, and then people will be willing to vote. There will be no apathy.
Adenike, it's a brilliant suggestion, but don't you think?
I believe so. Let's begin to explore. As the world is changing, the way we do things also need to realign. Yeah. So engaging on social media for campaigns is something we must. Social media is not just for criticism. So
for angry people.
It's not just for angry people. It's not a vent just for venting. Yeah, you can vent, but it's not just a venting platform.
Yeah.
After you have vented, so what next? Yeah. So it's something we must seriously consider in subsequent elections.
And just to address what Adenike said about the media working in collaboration with candidates, we did that leading to the elections. If you listen to Hard Facts, if you listen to Downfall Conversations with Ireti Bakare, you see candidates come on that show. You see political parties come on that show to talk about their parties, to debate, to bring out their manifestos and argue every now and again, especially leading to some weeks. About two months leading to the election, we have been having them on our shows. Yes, we did our own part, but I do agree a lot needs to be done by all stakeholders: the media, the people, the candidate, the political party, the political parties, and the State Independent Electoral Commission (SIEC). In this instance, last SIEC, who should champion that because I think, but our lack of awareness really hampered the last election.
It did. I mean, that was the second caller who was talking about total lack of awareness by this is her own neighbor. The first caller,
yes,
it was herself that was not even aware there was an election.
That's right.
This last caller, he said the neighbor, it was the one that told the neighbor that, look, there's election, and I was asking which election. It shouldn't be that way. So it's the awareness. It was an awareness blackout. There was nothing out there to have sensitized people. There was an election going on.
It's quite unfortunate. Nigeria Info, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Mine also is a suggestion.
Okay.
Because we really need to take the elections, all of them, seriously in Nigeria. I don't know why the thing changed, because from in the past, it used to be the councillors' elections, the chairman's election, before the House, State House of Assembly. It goes up from there. How did it change? I think it started when the governors teamed up to overthrow Obasanjo, and put in his vice then, Atiku. And then he was like, okay, if I don't win in your state, come and tell me you have won. We shouldn't be playing with Nigeria. Things should go back to what it should be. If this is important to Nigeria, then we should make it important to Nigeria and Nigerians too. Let's go back to how it was. Let's do them first. Councillors, chairman, then you can now continue upward. Once the president wins, then he takes the whole show. Once the governors win, they take the whole show. So that is it. We can't deny. We can't be running. We're all, I've been listening. We're running around it. We should call it out. Let's go back to voting this chairman, voting the councillors before the governors. Before the president, let us vote the governors, House of Assembly, State House, Senate, and all that. And then the presidential should be last. By doing that, we have the younger parties coming up. At least if they don't win anything, they win in their localities. And they grow from there. How can we be doing it from up down? And then we're now speaking on radio and nobody is talking about it. This is what is the problem. Because the governors, the chairmen know that once they get in there, the governors that put them there will not question them. And then who are we to question them? When you ask them, some of them don't even want to listen to you. Some of them pack out from their localities once they win elections. How many of them are staying in their localities? What is being done about that? The rigging is already done before the elections, for goodness sake. Good morning.
Good morning to you too. Thank you.
She has raised a very valid point, but it's also we need to look at the local government itself as a level of government, and there are constitutional issues that fundamentally disposes the local government not to be as effectual as it is, or to be literally controlled by the state. We must revisit those constitutional issues that are there. The way the 1979 into the 1999 Constitution had dealt with the local government, it literally made it an orphan. It has become more or less like an administrative extension of the state, which is not. It is not intended to be under the 1976 reforms. But today, that is what it is. The state, for example, the Constitution says, the money that accrues to them should go to a state joint local government. So, and that state joint local government is controlled by the
state,
governed by the state.
That's right.
So, he who pays the piper calls the tune. The same problem that we see with the independence of the legislature, the independence of the judiciary, has been cut over to that third-tier level of governance. So I hope it is one of the things that we should try to amend in the current constitutional arrangement that is going on. Otherwise, it will be at the mercy of the state governor. Whatever will happen at the local government level will be 100% at the mercy of the governors.
Let's take one last call before we go. Hello, good morning to you.
Mr. Steve, good morning.
Good morning to you.
I guess in the studio, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Azubike. I come from Olojede.
Welcome.
Coming to this election that we are talking about, like on Saturday when I'm listening to Nigeria Info elections that is going on air. There's one young man that called from, I forget where he's calling from. He said that he went to a polling unit vote to go and vote. Before he can go there, somebody has already voted on behalf of himself. They started to wonder, say, how come about? I have not voted. Why are people telling me that I have already voted? That is why we are having so much irregularity of results in election, especially in Lagos. Like in my own area here, in my own polling unit booth, I did not see anybody bring any bus of voting. Rather, what I saw in my areas, boys and others. Is it supposed to be like that?
You didn't see anybody cast their ballot in your area?
I did not see, because the thing have already hijacked by those people that rigged those elections. And no show the local government as a whole. There's no place that people cast their vote.
How did you know this? You went around everywhere?
Can't you hear one man that I just called?
It doesn't mean that everywhere in Oshodi is...
Likewise in my own area. That is actually what happened in that particular place that I'm living now.
Azubike, I
so
hear you.
how do you want us to believe that we have people that vote in Oshodi? Because I've already known what eventually happened.
Thank you, Azubike. Thank you for calling me. Appreciate it.
It's also not good to particularize what is going on to Lagos State. It is not only Lagos State that the ruling party wins all the local government to.
Exactly.
Whether it is in PDP's Enugu or in APGA's Anambra, the story is exactly the same. So that should tell us that it's a systemic problem and it is not a problem of an individual or a party. So we go to the root. If you're going to fix it, we go to the root and fix it from the root. And the root is not APC, PDP, or neither is it those individual, either godfathers or individual politicians.
Indeed. Well, Olojede, we must leave it here for this morning. Thank you so much for coming to the show.
It's a pleasure.
Always
Thanks
a pleasure
for
to
having
have you here. Lagos, let's use the last 2-3 minutes to see if we can give somebody 10,000 naira. I think that sounds great, huh? 0700 993 993 993 and 01465 7190. Let's play Just a Minute. If you're ready, I am ready. Just a Minute is now on your radio. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this.
This is Just a Minute. Just a Minute on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info.